Good morning, pilgrims. It's another day in the neighborhood. Another day for us neighbors. Today's thought of the day. Whether you vaccinate or choose not to vaccinate your child. Right now there is an outbreak going on in my home state of Washington of the measles. The measles is something that you get a vaccination for when you're very young. The main thing is whether you choose to vaccinate or not to vaccinate. The time for regret is not something like this where now there is a measles outbreak and now people are scrambling trying to figure out what they're going to do about their kids that have not been vaccinated. Well, your kid's probably going to get the measles. Regardless of how you feel around the whole aspect of whether you're going to vaccinate your kid or not vaccinate your kid, you should really probably think that through prior to making that decision. Again, once the outbreak happens and the chance of your kid getting it increases, there's not really a whole lot you can do about it after that. So maybe when you make the decision to not vaccinate, you should create a plan on what you're going to do if this happens. Everybody thought, measles, I don't need to vaccinate. Everybody else is vaccinated. I'm not going to take the risk of vaccinating and possibly having something else happen, even though there's no real solid studies on whether it will or not. There's exceptions to every rule. You can't make a decision based on 2 or 3 people out of a million. You need to understand your risk and your reward. Everything is about risk and reward. Is the risk worth the reward? So is the decision to not vaccinate your kid worth the reward of a 0.01% chance that your kid could get something because of the vaccination? But the risk side is, in case of an outbreak, your kid's probably going to get whatever it is that they didn't get vaccinated, like the measles. So I guess the real question is, do you vaccinate or not? I vaccinate because I feel that if we're getting vaccinated for something, it's something that we already have a vaccine for, and it's something that's already been around. And if enough people don't get vaccinated, the chances of that disease coming back is greatly increased. Okay, if you have 1 out of a million people that doesn't get vaccinated, the chance of that one person getting it is probably very small. But if you have 1,000 out of that million people, your chances start to increase because you have more people that travel abroad, that means outside the country, into areas where they don't have vaccines and they do get these diseases. And then they don't realize that they could be carrying that disease for weeks, if not months, before it actually shows up. So then they come back to the United States and they come in contact with the other people that haven't been vaccinated. Next thing you know, you've got an outbreak. And now you've got all these people that it's just a quick encounter and it starts spreading and spreading. And the sad part is that most of these parents were vaccinated. So you got the vaccination when you were a kid, and now you're choosing not to vaccinate your kid. So basically, now your kid is going to get the measles. What if your kid dies? Is it worth it? I don't think so. Let's let my special guest chime in and see what she has. My wife again, chime in and see what she has to say. Love, yes. What do you feel about the issue of vaccination versus not vaccination?
My kids are vaccinated, obviously, because we have the same kids.
That's true.
And I also think it's too late to be asking for help and advice if your kids are not vaccinated and an outbreak occurs. It's probably not the best way to do things, but to each its own, I suppose.
Right. To each its own. You know, if you make the decision to not vaccinate, that is your decision.
Right. Chances are, though, you're vaccinated.
Right. Well, yeah, so that's what I say. So you're vaccinated. You're safe. You're vaccinated, and then you choose not to vaccinate your kids, so your kids end up getting it and suffering. I mean, stuff that you get vaccinated for is not the flu. You know, you're not, I might get a fever. You're going to get sick. You're going to get real sick, and most of these vaccinations wiped out huge populations. These are not things that just, a couple people got and they're like, let's make everybody get vaccinated for it. There's a reason that you get these vaccinations year in and year out. So the chances are you got them, and then you don't have your kids get them, and then your kids end up getting sick and could possibly die. Yes, medicine is a lot better today than it was back when a lot of these outbreaks originally happened, which caused us to get these, but we get them so that there's not another huge outbreak. So then, again, when you get enough people that opt out of the vaccination, eventually somebody's going to come in contact with somebody from the outside world, get it, come back to the United States and spread it. And when you have a large portion of people that don't do it, it's going to spread. If you have a large portion, if you only have a few people, the chances are very small that it's going to spread to them unless they're the actual carrier from outside. But the time to regret it is not in the middle of an outbreak. The time to ask questions about, now what do I do, is not the middle of an outbreak. So you need to seriously think about whether or not you're going to vaccinate or not vaccinate, and realize what it is you're not vaccinating for. Do some research and make an educated decision instead of just making a decision based on public outcry or theories or in a lot of cases information that's not even true. So do your research, look it up, make an informed decision, and just don't take somebody else's word at it when you make that decision. Because again, now is not the time to be like, man, I should have got vaccinated. The time came and went for you to vaccinate, to either for you to get vaccinated or your kids to get vaccinated. And there's nothing you can do once you hit that point.
That's our puppy barking.
My dog is barking outside. A little guy, Camo. He's got a cute little bark.
What are you barking at?
Anyway, so I mean that's my thought of the day. It's it's definitely up to you. It's your life. It's your kid's life. But just remember, you probably got vaccinated, and nothing happened to you, and nothing happens to hundreds of millions of people that get vaccinated. So if you're not going to do it, do your research and make sure once your kids are old enough to understand, you inform them that they're not vaccinated, and maybe they can make their own decisions on whether or not they want to pursue that. Don't keep them in the dark. If they're old enough, let them know, because they may opt to go get the vaccination themselves, and so it's life. All right, so to vaccinate or not to vaccinate, that is the question. Only you can answer. It's a free world. Well, it's a free country, and you have that option. So don't abuse it. Sign on, like, chat, share, get other people to subscribe. Let's get going. Some more thought of the day. Send me a message, comment on the video if there's something you want me to discuss. Anything. I'll throw out my opinion on anything if you ask. So, you know what to do, America.